Hey folks, welcome to another review with yours truly, Sam Healey, right here on the Dice Tower. Today we're going to be taking a look at 3 expansions and a few accessories for Kabuto Sumo. I've been doing reviews the last 2 weeks about some of the content that Kabuto Sumo has, so this is going to be kind of like a catch-all for all of the other smaller accessories that are available for Kabuto Sumo. I did a review for the core game, Kabuto Sumo, and then I also did one for the standalone expansion, Sakura Slam, so you can go check those out here on the Dice Tower last couple of Wednesdays. But this one's going to be talking about, first of all, the big box that it can hold everything that the game has currently for it, and then 3 of the expansions, Kabuto Sumo Swarm, Insect All-Stars, and Total Mayhem. So let's get down to the table and take a look, shall we? So here is everything that comes in these 3 expansions for Kabuto Sumo. So you have all of the stuff for Kabuto Sumo Swarm over here. Then you have all of the stuff for Kabuto Sumo Insect All-Stars here. And then over here, you have all of the stuff for Kabuto Sumo Total Mayhem. I don't need to basically reteach everything about Kabuto Sumo, because what each of these things do is it basically just gives you more things to do with the base game. So I'll put the links in the description below to both of the reviews that I've done already, the Kabuto Sumo Core Box and the Sakura Slam standalone expansion. So you can go check that out if you want to. What I'm going to basically do here is just show you what each of these different expansions does for the game, and then we'll talk about the big box storage solution in just a few moments. So first of all, with Kabuto Sumo Swarm over here, what this is going to do is it gives you these frames. And these frames are actually pretty cool, because what it's going to do is it's going to hold inside the main thing your main wrestler. So basically during setup, you're going to choose a team of 3 wrestlers. And you're going to play basically a best of 3 with those 3 wrestlers, with the caveat being that you have to have a different wrestler be your main wrestler in each of the different matches. So that's a pretty cool thing. It's going to have a number of different things that go on with it, but generally speaking, what you're doing is you're choosing a team and then you're playing a best of 3 with that. And then it also adds in some new swarm pieces. It has 29 swarm cards. It has 4 dashboards. It has 4 swarm pieces, which are these things right here. And then you have some more tokens that you're going to be using as well. So that's what Kabuto Sumo Swarm does. Basically, it adds in the addition of having that tag team mentality, so to speak. Then over here we have Kabuto Sumo Total Mayhem, and this basically introduces the idea of different kinds of matches. With professional wrestling, you had steel cage matches, you had ladder matches, you had a number of different things, different kinds of matches that you could go see, and that's basically what Total Mayhem does. It has, you know, a Symphony of Destruction, it has Escalation, it has Briar Patch Brawl, you have the Money in the Bank, you have the Matchstick Mayhem, you have the Tabletop Turmoil, which is going to be using this one. Matchstick Mayhem uses these pieces down here. Money in the Bank uses this piece. Symphony of Destruction, you have the Concerto, which uses this. The Graveyard Grave Consequences uses this little cardboard coffin. And so you have all of these different things. Climbing Track is used with this thing right here as kind of like a ladder match. So there's a number of different kinds of matches. Each one has their own setup, each one has their own little rules and what you need to do for victory. But that's basically what the Total Mayhem here does, is it provides a way for you to have a different flair on top of the matches that you're going to be setting up. The way you set up the actual boards is also, if there's any changes to them, will be covered on these match cards. But then on top of that, the different ways that you can win in these different matches are also covered. And then finally, for as far as these smaller expansions are concerned, you also have Insect All-Stars, and this basically gives you 8 new wrestlers to add to your arsenal. So the Thunder from Down Under here is going to be a giant Weta cricket. And the first move that they have is the Rolling Thunder. If you get to stack 2 of your smalls, you get to gain this piece right here. And then Flash Flood, you get to stack 1 of your smalls, and you can choose a stack of pieces in the ring and move all but the bottom piece onto another non-wrestler piece, and you have to, of course, follow all of the stacking rules, but that's a pretty interesting thing. And then you have Teddy R. Walk tall, carry a big stick. Sound familiar? The big stick, pay 2 medium pieces to an opponent, and you get to gain the big stick. And then it says walk softly. At the start of your turn, if the stick is in the ring, you take any one standard disc from an opponent's inventory, then give them any one of your pieces. So if somebody has one of these larger pieces, you could say, you know what, I think I'm going to take that larger piece, and here, you can have one of my small pieces. So that's a pretty cool thing as well. You have Mother Superior, which is a praying mantis, and it has this piece right here, Creature of Habit. During setup, replace your wrestler's piece with with this wrestler piece. And then you have Guillotine. At the end of your turn, if your wrestler is touching an opponent's wrestler, you may push 1 small from any platform position, and that is at the end of your turn. So that's in addition to your regular standard turn. Then you have Nightmare on Elm Trees, which is an Asian giant hornet. So Fly Day the 13th, stack 2 of your mediums, and you get to gain this piece right here. And then once you've gained it, you can stack it across 2 or more pieces of equal height. They may be wrestlers. Now, the reason you would want to do that, when this piece is knocked out, choose a stack in the ring with no signature pieces and take all but the bottom piece into your inventory. So Roach Bates Motel. So a definite horror-themed wrestler for your liking. It also comes with the Instar All-Star Electric Bug, electrifying. At the end of your turn, if you knocked out 3 or more pieces, gain up to 2 of these stars. And it does come with 4, as denoted by this little icon up here in the corner. Then Stunner. Push any number of stars 1 at a time from the same platform position. This replaces your turn. So you can gain stars by qualifying this up here, and then on a future turn, you can push any number of these stars into the ring from the same platform position, but that does replace your turn. Then you also have the Composter, a giant centipede, the DDT. Pay 1 to 5 smalls to an opponent and then gain 1 per small paid and push all gained as a nested group. This replaces your turn. So you get to pay smalls, which look like this. And for every small that you pay, you get to gain 1 of these things, and you can push them in as a nested group, kind of like with the Queen Bee's Bees from Sakura Slam, but that's basically what the Composter does. Then you have the Hypno Fist, a Jewel Wasp, which comes with this piece right here. All that glitters, pay 2 mediums to an opponent, and you get to gain this piece. Then you have the ability of mind control. When this piece is knocked out, immediately take a bonus turn using a piece from an opponent's inventory. You may perform their signature moves. So that's pretty interesting because now you can do what other people can do, which is something different. The Nature Bug, which is a giant forest scorpion, which comes with a scorpion tail piece and says figure 4 tail lock. Pay 1 medium to an opponent, gain and stack the scorpion piece on top of both your wrestler and an opponent's wrestler, and then woo! Oh, that's funny. Nature Boy Ric Flair, baby. As long as the scorpion is stacked on an opponent's wrestler, they may only push either their smallest standard disc or a signature piece into the ring. That's pretty cool. Now, I think it is worthy of noting here with the Insect All-Stars that you do have 8 new wrestlers, but only 5 of them can be used in the Junior League that have their starting pieces here. So 5 of the 8 can be used with Junior League, whereas these 3 here don't have a Junior League setup, but that's cool as well. Now, the last thing that we're going to talk about today is the big box storage solution that is available that you can go purchase. Now, one of the coolest things about this is that it does fit everything that's currently available for Kabuto Sumo. I am not aware of anything that doesn't fit in here, so if there is something, I apologize. I wasn't aware of it. I'm not lying. Anyway, so basically what you do here is you're going to be using this little tag here to pull open, and here you have everything that comes with this big box solution. You have a little slot right here for all of the rule books, and then you also have trays basically that are going to hold all of your wrestlers, and then any of the other accessories that you can purchase. For example, the Sakura Slam, the Kabuto Sumo wooden thing fits right here. If you don't have the wooden one, then you can put the cardboard one that comes in the box inside here as well, and it also fits assembled, so you don't have to disassemble it or anything like that, just like you didn't have to do it in the core box. But it actually has this little thing. Now, as we're here, I am going to talk about this here. Now, it comes with the Lazy Susan. This can be moved around like that. It also comes with this little thing right here. It's a non-slip mat that you can put underneath it that will basically hold it in place so that Lazy Susan will be able to be effective no matter what the surface is on the bottom. So that's another cool thing that comes with it. This is a really cool accessory. I love the wooden components with the Lazy Susan built in. I really do enjoy it. The cardboard is fine, don't get me wrong, but this is really stinking nice, and it really ups the value and the aesthetic quality of the game. But that's not all. I'm feeling like an infomercial here. That fits right back inside there. And then down here, you have the Sakura Slam ring that is able to fit in there. And it also came with some glue dots that you were used to apply the posts. But again, this also comes with the non-stick mat that you can use for those different surfaces. And of course, this is on a Lazy Susan as well. This is also a really cool addition to the family. So if you want to do that, fine. If you don't, that's fine as well. Cardboard fits in here just well, just as easily as the wooden does. But those are awesome little accessories that you can purchase for the game. So this just goes right back in here and is held away quite nicely. Now, all of the different expansions that we went over here today, they have their own little thing as well. So here are the Swarm expansion, a drawer for that. Here you have I believe this is the Total Mayhem drawer right here. What about all of those standard discs? Well, those have their own little drawer as well. They all fit in there just like that for the ones that come in the Kabuto Sumo one, and then the Sakura Slam tokens also come in here as well. So you have a spot for everything. What about all those wrestler cards? Yeah, you also have a little holder for each of those cards, and it also has dividers for each of the different ones. So if you know you're looking for a specific wrestler from a specific expansion, they're all held in here quite nicely. Now, to exhibit these different trays, so basically you have one for Kabuto Sumo, then you also have one for the Sakura Slam standalone expansion, and then you also have one that I'm going to utilize here in just a moment to show how everything goes back in there, one for Insect All-Stars, and then you also have another one for all of the different promos that are coming out here. And as you can see, I don't own all of the promos, but I do have Andre the Giant and the Flor de Muertos. And then there's some extra spots for expansion content that maybe just hasn't come out yet, but that's what this has. Let's get down to the table one more time and I'll show you how everything fits into the Insect All-Stars tray. So as we're looking at this board here, so you have a lid that is clear so that you can see everything in here. The cool thing about it is that they do have stickers that you do have to stick on here. That's not the cool thing. Each sticker, though, this is the cool thing, has the name of the wrestler, a pictorial representation of the wrestler, and the piece that goes there. So Nightmare on Elm Trees goes right there. Mother Superior goes right there. The Nature Bug goes right there. The composter goes right here, just like this. The 4 stars for the Instar All-Star go right here, just like this. The Teddy R, Walk Softly, Carry Big Stick, goes right there. Thunder from Down Under goes right there. And the Hypno Fist goes right there. And then this pops right back on, just like that. And you're ready to stick it right back into the storage solution. And so now that it is ready to go, it's going to just put that right in here. Sakura Slams right in there, and then Kabuto Sumo, the core box stuff goes right up in there just like that. And you are set, ready to go. That closes, this closes, and you have a very neat looking, very well organized, and very well designed storage solution for everything that is Kabuto Sumo, rather than having to keep all of these smaller boxes around from time to time. So that's about that for everything that I have for Kabuto Sumo. Now, as I've been saying over the last few weeks, this game really lends itself to expansion material. That can be good or bad, because sometimes when a game lends itself to expansion material, some of that expansion material just maybe isn't as fun as the other stuff. Sometimes it doesn't balance out very well. It just depends on how the game works. But as things have been progressing, I started off with an 8.0 for my rating. Then I went to an 8.5 after reviewing the Sakura Slam standalone expansion. And after I have gone through all 3 of these miniature expansions and used the storage solution and the wooden accessories, accessory rings rather, for the game, I can safely say that with everything that's available for this game, as far as dexterity games are concerned, this one hits it out of the park. It really does. I'm not a huge fan of dexterity games, really at all, because I've got fat fingers, and generally speaking, dexterity games aren't really fun for people with digits like mine. So I usually am very picky about the dexterity games that I like to keep around. This one's going to stick around. Let's get to my pros and cons. I'm going to have exactly 4 pros for this video. The first one is going to be Insect All-Stars. I love the fact that they're adding more wrestlers to a game that thrives on variable player powers and all of that kind of stuff. That is a no-brainer. When you have a game like this that really kind of, at its core, functions with the variable player powers mechanism. Adding more variable player powers is just a no-brainer in my opinion. So that's my first pro for the game, is that they have added more, and I would expect that they're going to continue adding more in future expansions if they continue to do future expansions. But this is an absolute pro in my opinion. More the merrier is usually the case with variable player powers, and that's exactly what this game has. My second pro for the game is going to be exemplified by Swarm. Adding the idea of doing best 2 out of 3 with having tag teams is a great little expansion for a game that centers around this whole idea of Bugs being professional wrestlers. It might not seem like an intuitive expansion right off the bat, but boy oh boy does it make it, boy oh boy did it become one of those intuitive expansions for the game. I really like the idea of picking a team of 3 wrestlers rather than just having to be stuck with 1. And then on top of that, your main wrestler can use the abilities of his teammates at any given time, and then being able to choose which of those wrestlers from match to match is going to be the main wrestler is a really great opportunity. This is a great little expansion, and that's my second pro for this video. My third pro is definitely going to be exemplified by Total Mayhem. I love the flavor that is in this box, and it kind of puts a scenario spin on the game, and I really do like that. I love the matches. I love how they throw that extra little professional wrestling flair onto the game. This is just great. You can pick and choose which ones you're going to use, and it's going to add a little bit of setup time, but just know that going into it, and it shouldn't be a big deal. But I love what Total Mayhem does, and that's my third pro for the game. And my fourth pro for this video is quite simply the storage solution that you can go purchase. This is for a game like this that has so many smaller expansions, and they are kind of trying to make the core boxes or the standalone expansion box fit only the things that come with it. This is something that, again, was kind of like a no-brainer that they needed to do for this game, and they went ahead and did it. I love the fact that it has everything. It has everything labeled well on the inside. I love the fact that everything fits nicely. The only thing that I maybe don't like about it is that it only has a little teensy-weensy bit of space for storing extra stuff that they may or may not come out with. So it might be a little bit of a harbinger that this exists, that they're done making content, but there is a little bit of extra space in there for promo wrestlers and all of that kind of stuff. But this is definitely a really neat thing that you can have. Underneath this pro is, of course, the 2 wooden rings that we already talked about, and I won't deliberate any further on that, but it is a great little expansion. So this is my fourth pro. Now, again, the con that has been on the last 2 and is definitely in this one is the fact that setup time is somewhat of a grudge. Now, it's not that big of a deal, especially if you enjoy setting up things in patterns, because that's basically what it does. Every setup has a certain pattern. But I will say that with Swarm and then with Total Mayhem, you have kind of added to the amount of setup time that's here. But again, like I referenced in the last video, it's worth it because of the fun that you're going to have with the game. So I'm not really, it's not really that big of a con, but I still want to mention it because it is still there. But with that being said, I do like a lot of games that have pretty hefty setup times. So again, I'm not trying to pick on Kabuto Sumo. I'm just trying to make sure that it's absolutely unequivocally understood that you do have a lot of setup time here. But I think the setup time to fun ratio is definitely in the latter's favor. You do have a lot of fun. So setup time is whatever. Now, another thing that I've alluded to over the last couple of weeks is that this game definitely has the ability to rise in rating, and that's exactly what it has done. Kabuto Sumo as a whole, from everything that I have, gets a 9 out of 10 from me, and that's because as a dexterity game, this is the kind of dexterity game that I really do enjoy, because it's not so much about dexterity, although it does hinge upon dexterity. It's not so much about being able to fit my fat little digits into tight spaces. It's about being able to know what to do in certain situations, what direction to slide my piece onto the ring and when to use my special ability, my signature move, all of that kind of stuff. When to pay for those smaller pieces in order to get my signature move piece. It's more about that. So it's kind of like it's a strategic dexterity game than just a dexterity game. And that's probably why I like it so much. The fact that it's a professional wrestling bugs theme really helps, because I like that kind of quirky stuff. But anyway, I'm giving Kabuto Sumo as a whole a 9 out of 10 because I really think they've knocked it out of the park with their basis and then all of the expansion content they've added onto it. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.